Hi, I just want to touch on when a family becomes a brand and control of estrangement in abuse. We don't name this. I just wanted to just go through this really in a very calm, grounded way. I want to talk about something that's been circulating heavily over the past few days, not because I'm interested in celebrity gossip, but because of what it reveals about how we understand family, loyalty, and abuse. If you have survived domestic abuse, family abandonment, or coercive control, this conversation may feel uncomfortable, uncomfortably familiar, and if it does, you are not imagining it. I want to be very clear from the start. I am not making allegations about um, the Beckham family. There are no confirmed reports or legal proceedings of abuse. What I'm addressing is simply the public reaction and the psychological dynamic that many survivors immediately recognize. I especially this is because of how the message on the stories was put out. Because sometimes what triggers us isn't the people involved, it's the pattern. So why this hits survivors so hard? When you have survived systematic abuse and abandonment, watching public families' estrangement unfold can feel like a mirror being held up to your own life. Not because the stories are identical, but because the structure is. Survivors don't listen to these stories as entertainment. We listen with our nervous system. Many of us were told, don't talk about it. You will ruin the family. Be grateful. You are overreacting. Family comes first. Until we finally choose ourselves and we are punished for it. So, imagine control. What is really behind this control? Let's talk about the image and control. In high profile or high net worth families, the family does not just exist emotionally, it exists as a brand. And when the brand becomes sacred, individuals become expendable. Image control happens when authenticity is treated as betrayal, silence is rewarded, conflict is hidden, not resolved, belonging is conditional on compliance. Psychologically, this is not described as emotional suppression, manipulation, or neglect. It may not even meet the legal definition of abuse, but it is absolutely the lived definition of harm. So, narcissistic family systems, without the labels really, and without accusations, survivors often recognize something else here, which is narcissistic family dynamics. In these systems, one narrative dominates, one image must be protected. Dissent, so you dissent and you refrain as a disloyal person, or boundaries are treated as attacks actually. So there is an unusual gatekeeper of truth, and anyone who steps outside the role of is quietly or publicly discredited. When the family exists in the public eye, this doesn't happen behind closed doors. It happens through leaking sources close to the family, character framing, selective storytelling. So the system depends itself not by asking why someone left, but by questioning their character or for leaving the family. Cohesive control isn't always private. We often think of cohesive control as something that happens in intimate relationships behind closed doors. But cohesive control can also operate at a family level or institutional level too. In public facing families, it can look like financial financial leveraging, inheritance opportunities, forced loyal, or you choose your spouse or otherwise, public gaslighting, portraying someone as unstable, ungrateful, or changed. The goal is not reconciliation, the goal is compliance. And survivors recognize this instantly because we have lived it. So we are triggered by it. So, why estrangement is so heavily judged? Here is the cultural problem we don't address enough. Society is far more comfortable questioning the person who leaves than questioning the system they left. So estrangement is framed as cold, selfish, cruel. But for many survivors, estrangement is protectiveness. It's protecting your own space, your energy, your mental health. It's the last boundary left when everything and every other thing has been violated. So crossing your spouse, choosing your spouse, your peace, your mental health, that is not betrayal. That is self-preservation from a survivor's point of view. So I'm speaking as a survivor and I'm speaking to survivors directly. If this conversation has stirred something in you, I want you to hear this. Being triggered does not mean you are rejecting. It means your body recognizes the danger, the patterns, faster than the language does. You are not anti-family dynamic, you are pro-safety. So in week 2 of the threshold, we speak about safety. You are not bitter, you are aware. You are not broken for needing to distance yourself from people who cause you harm, who give you anxiety. Even if you share the same blood, sometimes it's good to step away and think about yourself. So reclaiming the narrative, we need to stop asking why didn't they make it work? And we need to start asking, what did it cost them to stay? Because silence is not peace, compliance is not love, and family loyalty should never require self-erasure. If you're listening to this and quietly rebuilding your life after walking away from harm, I see you. You didn't fail your family. You survived a system that failed you. And that is not something to be ashamed of. Your peace is important for your well-being. So I invite you to share this anonymously if you like, or directly to anyone that needs to hear it, and anyone who has been triggered by it. I offer you grounding exercises on my platform, Silence Screams Loud Strength. So please recover with intention and look after yourself. And if you want to hear more on these type of topics, stay tuned to Silence Screams Loud Strength that streams on all platforms. Thank you for listening.